Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan. Today's video is part of a series that I'm doing all about my move from the Philippines to Australia. If you haven't seen the other videos that I have done on this series, then I'll leave all of them down in the description box. For this video, I will be talking about my experience adjusting to this new place or new country. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please do subscribe below and hit the bell notification so that you can be notified whenever I upload new videos like this. And if you like topics like this, then also hit that like button so that I know what videos you want to see more of. Yeah, at the end of this video though, if you do have more questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'll either answer them there or maybe create a whole new video for it. I think that's that. Let's just get right into the video. Okay, so adjusting to a new place, a new country. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It was definitely hard. When I first moved here in 2020, I'd never been to Australia before. As in, I've never traveled to Australia before, even as a tourist. I didn't know anything about the place. I wouldn't have family or friends close by either. So talagang wala. So you might be thinking, why did I move? Why did I do this to myself?
Why, God, why?
When we made the decision to move, we knew that it was going to be the best for our future. We knew that this was something that was going to help us get to where we want to be. And so when the opportunity came for my partner, I came along with him on a 482 visa. Now this visa I talk about in another video, so if you're interested in learning more about it, then I will link the video down below. So yeah, that was the entire reason of why we first moved here and why I am now making this video about adjusting to a new place. What I'm going to be sharing with you today, I really think that it's going to be helpful for so many people, not just those who are looking to move to Australia, but just looking to move in general to a new place. I think it was such an interesting experience for me kasi nga I've never been here before moving here, so there was a lot of adjusting that had to happen. I just had to be conscious about what I was doing so that I would feel a lot more at home. And for you to be able to adjust to a new place, I think it comes in different parts. All of these things that I'm going to be sharing with you, I think is really important if you are looking to move or have already moved and are struggling to adjust to the new place that you are living in. Okay, so let's begin. Obviously, the adjusting starts when I came here, right? And I don't think it was really a honeymoon phase for me at the beginning. It wasn't like I came here and I was in love with the place. I think the first part of adjusting is observing. Knew that everything was going to be brand new when I came here, and I didn't have all of the pieces of the puzzle together just yet, so nothing looked familiar. And that's why we decided to do a lot of actually walking around and observing. I told myself na when I get here, I would just soak everything up and observe how people interacted, how places look, how the lifestyle was in general, because honestly, the lifestyle is so different here. I live in Manila, which is such a fast-paced place, and Brisbane is just so chilled. Like, I can't even explain it. Parang, it's just so different. People wake up early, people sleep early. That's what I observed at least. Mostly, places are closed by 5 p.m. Malls are closed by 5 p.m. or 4. I don't really know, because I only go to the mall in the morning now, just so I get everything done really quickly. But yeah, when I first got here and it was about 9, ang dilim na sa labas, and I was asking my partner, bakit parang wala ng tao sa labas? Nasaan yung mga tao? And he said that's just really the lifestyle here. On weekdays, people are quite efficient. They go to work, they finish their work, they do their workouts, and they just go home. I don't really see the whole late nights after work being a big thing here. Now, actually, that I'm working also, overtime isn't such a big thing either. I think you have to be careful here about making your employees work overtime, and no one really works overtime here, and it's not encouraged either. So it's a lot efficient. Anyway, so when I first got here, I just observed places. I decided that I wasn't going to get a job right away, and we agreed. We were in a position for me to not jump straight into job hunting just yet. Kasi nga, I've never been here before. What I wanted to do was just really get to know the place, and so by observing, I'll be able to to kind of be a lot more comfortable once the job hunting starts, once I start going to interviews. Because if I went to an interview and I didn't know how to interact with people, like what would they be looking for, how should I present myself, it's so different eh. So it was important na I understood the place. It's like marketing, diba? You have to know who you're talking to. You have to know how to talk to them and how to present yourself as well so that you sell yourself well. So yun. Once I got a bit more comfortable, I decided I wanted to really immerse myself in the place. Within the first month, I knew that I needed to familiarize myself with the place so much, like be involved in it. So I joined a lot of gyms, I joined a lot of workout classes, and I was doing all the free trials that I can, as in lahat. Anything goes. I did yoga, I did Pilates, and I did ballet. Oo, nag-ballet ako, like adult ballet. Unfortunately, the studio shut down when COVID happened and they never got to reopen again. So I had to look for somewhere else to go for dance classes because I do like dancing, and I thought that that was a good way for me to immerse myself in the place. I found a dance studio and I also found a pole studio. I stuck with the pole studio because I really loved the environment that they created here. Like, it was super friendly and super just welcoming to everyone that was new. My tip for you when you want to immerse yourself in a new place, you know, as part of your adjustment period, find an activity that you like and find a place where you can do that activity, whether it's a workout or maybe even you're into arts, you want to go do a workshop or a pottery class, somewhere where you can interact with other people who have the same interests, because it makes it easier for you to get to know the place and the people a little bit better, because you're in this element where there's some sort of familiarity even though everything else is so new to you. The more that you keep going back to that place, the more you'll feel a lot more comfortable, and for me that was really helpful. Working out is not a one-time thing, so that is why I chose to do it. I knew that I was gonna need to keep going back and interacting with the people there, which would then help me to feel a lot more comfortable where I am. It really gave me an insight as to how people interacted, and I'm such an observer. I pick up on how people speak. I pick up on how they speak in terms of what words they use, how they interact with other people. And mahirap pa for me when I got here because the accent was different eh. Iba than what I'm used to. Eh, yung boyfriend ko, he's not Aussie naman, he's British. So, at least yun, sanay ako yung British accent. Pero yung Aussie accent, parang iba sa akin eh, iba sa tenga ko. So, I had to adjust also. When I first got here, nakakahiya. Parang I was always saying, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? So, sobrang nakakatawa for me thinking about it now. But ngayon, sanay na ako because obviously I've been here for almost 2 years now, but it was really interesting and it was a good exercise for me in preparation for when I do start job hunting. Yun yung parang part of it also, was trying to build up that confidence in speaking with other people here. Because when I first got here, I was definitely shy. Like, I really felt like such a noob here when I first arrived. It was important na I built that confidence also, which I think is also part of adjusting, by the way, is you building up on your confidence, because then it helps you adjust and it helps you just feel a lot more comfortable, which is then, you know, will just bring out your natural true self. Of course, when I was immersing myself, I was already exploring as well. I was seeing where different places were and seeing what the different areas were like. But another side of it was that we started to look for a place to rent. In the beginning, we were just living in an Airbnb for like maybe, I think, the first month, because that was just going to be easy. When we get here, andito na yung place and we didn't have to look for it. And we also didn't have to tie ourselves down to that place just yet. Actually, if you guys want to learn more about how we found our place now, I might do a video on that as well. But yeah, when it came to exploring, it was just about going to different places here, familiarizing myself with the areas. There are different suburbs in Brisbane and each of them actually are quite different in a way. May iba sa vibe ng mga places dito. It was good for me to see the different parts, especially when we were looking around for places to rent. They also have a north side and south side here. And when they say north and south here, it's actually relative to the river. Yeah, so exploring was also good. And we also went on walks quite a lot, as in walking around the place, walking around different suburbs, but also doing bushwalking. So bushwalking, if you aren't familiar with it, they call it bushwalking here, where you go to national parks and just walk through the park. So it's like medyo foresty almost, and and it's really nice. If you go on my Instagram, I have photos on there as well, just so you see what I'm talking about. I think I also have a video about that actually, so I will link it up here as well. Okay, so this next part actually isn't really a conscious thing. I just realized that it just helped me overall, and it's actually the job hunting part. So when I was job hunting, of course, I was talking to so many people. I didn't get my first face-to-face interview for maybe after 2 months, but I was already getting phone calls. They really love calling you here. Like, walang text beforehand. Talagang tatawag lang sila. And for me, hindi ako magaling with phone calls. In the Philippines, magte-text muna yung mga tao before they call. Or like, text lang talaga. Dito, everyone calls talaga. Syempre, naghahanap ako ng trabaho, so I couldn't just leave it to voicemail. So, sinasagot ko talaga siya. And it was an experience that really taught me how to interact and feel comfortable. My first job also was for a sales and marketing agency as a content writer. So even more so na I needed to understand what the local market was. It was a super lean team, but it was really good and everyone was friendly. So it was really easy for me to adjust even in that new setting. Because it was a lean team, there wasn't a huge number of people to get to know. It was quite easy. And they also even had team members in the Philippines. So that was nice kasi nakakapag-Tagalog ako when I was there. But yeah, so the whole process of job hunting and working here actually helped me adjust. It put me in a place where I was surrounded by people, where I could interact and learn how to connect with everyone. And also I learned a lot from the teammates that I was working with. Everyone was super nice and I always asked questions. I think that's important also if you're new to a place, is you ask questions and don't be afraid to ask questions, because normally people naman will be nice and will understand that some things just aren't familiar to you, and that's okay. And I think I've been very lucky with my interactions here, and people are just generally have been super friendly and helpful. Anyway, the job hunting process, if you are interested in learning about that as well, it's an entire story on its own. So just leave a comment down below if you want to know how the experience was for me, from creating a CV, changing my CV, my resume, to doing the job interviews, to doing phone interviews. Let me know if you want a video about that. And finally, the most important part, I think, actually, of adjusting to a new place and what will really help you is making friends along the way. I was always very conscious about making friends. I'm not gonna lie, it was a conscious decision na sabi ko, kailangan magka-friends ako dito kasi mahirap if I live here for such a long time tapos wala akong kaibigan, partner ko lang. Mahirap naman yun, alangan naman na wala akong life outside of this house, diba? That's why I was pushing myself to do all of those different classes, different workouts, is because that was something I was interested in. So if I could find friends with a common interest, then that already makes half of the battle done, you know? The only thing is now just finding people to connect with. Sobrang swerte because in this pole studio that I went to, that I still am going to, has cultivated this parang sobrang friendly social environment na kahit bago ka pa lang, everyone is super friendly and super helpful. Honestly, that's where I found my friends, like the friends that I have now. So definitely making friends is a huge part of helping yourself adjust to a new place. And the best way I would suggest is to find a place where you can do something you love. The more you have all of these things that feel familiar to you, the more you'll feel a lot more comfortable and you'll be well adjusted. So I hope I was able to cover some useful tips for you when it comes to adjusting to a new place. My general I guess parting words for you is take adjusting slow. Like, take it slow. You're going to be moving to a new place, or you already are in a new place. That on its own is such a big challenge kasi you don't know anything, you don't know anyone, you don't know where places are, and there's just a lot to take in. And so don't pressure yourself na masanay ka agad. You adjust to a new job 6 months. It takes about 6 months or even sometimes a year. And if you're living in a new place and you're trying to adjust, that's even a lot more pressure because that's your life. You're living there. So take it slow. Don't push yourself too much. But also don't be afraid to challenge yourself, maybe through interacting with people or trying to get to know a new group of friends. I will tell you, I've been here for almost 2 years now, and up to this day, I still find some things new to me. But now at this stage, pakonti-konti na lang siya because now I feel a lot more comfortable. So yeah, that is it for this video. I hope that I was able to share some useful tips with everyone. And if you did enjoy that, then hit the like button to let me know, and also subscribe if you haven't yet. Again, like I said, if you have other questions for me, then feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them there or maybe create a new video for it. Thank you so much for sticking around with me today. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you again next week for another new video on my channel. Again, my name is Megan. Bye!